Coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
And there we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Jacob, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Sorry, my camera's being a little blurry. Let me try and fix that real quick.
No worries.
Let's see. But hey, no, I'm doing really well though. Otherwise, besides a blurry camera, I think that's probably the least of our worries here. But no, it's been a good evening so far, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely, yeah. It adds a bit of mystery. Don't worry about.
Yeah, I'll be kind of lurking while I try it. Sometimes when
It'll be a nice surprise when you come on.
Yeah, people are like, whoa, what does he actually look like? Oh, he's chubby and bearded. What a surprise. Oh my gosh.
That's supposed to be my thing. I don't know what's going on here.
There we go. All right.
Hey, Richard. Oh, perfect. Richard joining us, and a big thanks to Marlene for getting you on today. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself before we start into the meat of today?
Yeah, of course. So I am a filmmaker, writer, director, typically in the horror genre, based in Tucson, Arizona. For everyone watching, I worked with Marlene in the past on one of my first short films, a little ditty called Nightmare. And ever since then, I've just been, really helping take those next steps to build out my own little niche in the horror community. It's probably my favorite genre, honestly, at this point. I've had a lifelong affinity for it. So it's just really great to be more proactive in the community, really getting involved, and as a writer and director, getting to share my passion for these kinds of stories, with the community and with people who might not normally check out horror. So it's nice to kind of get out there.
I love it. Now, I know this is a really difficult question, but are there a couple, or it doesn't have to be like a top 5 or even any set number, but there are a few horror movies that they're your go-tos, or just your favorites that you can think of?
Yeah, it's actually not that tough of a question because I'm crazy and I'm always thinking about this kind of stuff. My favorite is Evil Dead 2. I worship at the altar of Sam Raimi. So honestly, the entire Evil Dead franchise, but specifically Evil Dead 2 is my favorite horror film. Jaws, can't go wrong with Jaws. Then I would put The Thing. I put The Thing.
The remake, the
Carpenter's remake. Yeah, not the prequel remake. The Carpenter remake. And then honestly, Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street right after that too. Like the Wes Craven, obviously one of the best to ever do it. And depending on my mood, I'm either in a Scream mood or in Nightmare on Elm Street mood, and either or you could give or take. But yeah, Evil Dead, Jaws, The Thing, those are pretty much my go-tos.
Solid list right there. Definitely some good stuff. Yeah.
It's fun when you can have horror as like your comfort film too. Like like it's just like, oh man, I've had a rough day. I'm gonna go throw on Evil Dead 2, or I'm gonna throw on like Alien or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alien and Aliens. Those are my I love all of them. Even Alien 3. I love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, there's a lot of horror movies. I think horror is a really special genre because sometimes even when it's at its worst, it's better than others. Like you can't. Oh, go ahead.
It's entertaining. Like even when it's really bad, it can be so entertaining. Like, have you seen a romantic comedy that's bad? Like, it's not entertaining. You're so bored.
Yeah, I've talked about that a lot with some filmmaker friends, and one of the reasons I love the genre so much and working within it is, unlike any other genre, if it's not like a masterpiece, or if it's not completely hitting the way you want it to, it can still find an audience. Like if you make a comedy and it's not funny, no one's going to watch it. If you make a drama and it's not dramatic, no one's going to care. But if you make a horror film and it's not scary, there's still like elements of it that the horror community will find to love. You know, they might think, oh, this is so bad, it's good. Or, it's not scary, but it's, you know, it's made with a lot of passion and love. And so we're going to embrace it. So like more so than any other genre, I think horror is flexible with what actually hits and what doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's the next way to put it.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Miguel.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite bad horror movie?
Bad horror film?
Yeah, like so bad that you still watch it and you love it.
Oh man, I don't know if I have like one that I'd consider like bad, because I think of all of these as like good in my mind. Like if it's but if I was gonna say like the Friday the 13th, I think are a good example of that. Like some of the Jason X, that's objectively a bad movie, but I love that movie. Like
I will still watch that one.
What was that?
I will still watch that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's the one where he's in space.
Yeah.
Like again, it's not it's objectively not a good movie, but it's seeing people in like early 2000s like out clothing, but they're supposed to be scientists, and it's Jason on a spaceship killing people, and it's so silly. It's fun.
It really is. Yeah. There's so many movies, so many horror movies really that if it's bad, but you're still enjoying it. Is it, like you said, is it really bad then? Because in my mind, when you said Jason X, like, no, it's a good movie. That's a fun one because I could watch it any day of the week. You know, background noise, or I could sit there with some popcorn, you know, just enjoying myself and not at all. Because some movies I feel like I wasted some time, but for some reason, horror movies aren't that way.
Right. Well, question. I'm sorry.
What was that, Marley?
When you start to question your like the death, like I'm wasting 2 hours of my life. You know, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, like I think that's the word. Like I don't believe in like guilty pleasure movies necessarily. It's like what you like. If you like it, you like it. And if you think it's bad, then you like that. To me, is when I would say, well, I don't want to watch that anymore. And with horror, I think that, you know, for the most part, you can get around that. Kind of what I was saying earlier, because like as long as you put a modicum of passion into it, or like you're even attempting anything, even if you're failing, you know, I could still be like, it sucked, but it was still like a cool ghost story. Or, you know, a great example of that, The Deep House. Have you guys seen The Deep House?
No, I don't think I've seen that
one. The water?
Yes. So it's a movie that is a couple who basically they do like YouTube haunted house like walkthroughs, and they find a abandoned house underneath a lake in France, and they go scuba diving. And so the whole movie is kind of a mix of found footage, like camera perspective, and traditional cinematography. But it's basically a haunted house underwater. And that is such a cool premise, and the way they shoot it, like legitimately underwater, is really awesome. But at the end of the day, the plot and the characters end up being just a generic ghost story. Like there's absolutely nothing really about the story or characters that's exceptional. But the way they did it, they were clearly trying to do something. So even though the movie itself, I wouldn't describe as very good, the effort they put into that won me over. So I would watch that again. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite thing, no, but I cared about the investment they had into the story, if that makes sense. And I think horror's great about that.
Yeah, and a different way to tell, because what is that? The archetype of the same stories being told over and over again. If you could find a new way to explain something that everyone can kind of connect to. Everyone, I think, at one point in their life can relate to being afraid of a ghost or having that feeling of something watching you that you don't really know what it is. And yeah, I looked up on IMDb so I could save that in my notes now. So it just came out last year, it looked like, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's on VOD.
It's on Showtime. I saw the ending.
Oh, is it?
But I can't imagine filming underwater. Like, that would be so hard. Like, the whole movie, I think.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's why I gave it like a lot of like leeway. I'm like, oh man, like
they tried.
Stay after the credits if you watch it. Anyone watching this, if you watch the Deep House, stay after the credits.
I'm nice definitely have to do that.
Great little stinger.
Heck yeah. And yeah, that sounds like just a bunch of nightmares to be. I don't like being underwater and doing things to begin with. I have a big fear of drowning in small spaces. Like those are my. So to film under? No, I'm good. I don't know about that.
Oh, this movie is very claustrophobic, so you might get pretty freaked out watching it too, which is great.
I kind of love that. Yeah, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that. I'm glad you brought it up because that's definitely something I'm gonna have to go back to. But let's see a couple of comments here. Emily loves the special effects and makeup for horror movies. One of her picks to it. Absolutely. And some of the ones you mentioned, like actually, I think who brought it up first? Alien. I love the right. Yeah, I think so,
I mentioned Alien. Yeah,
I think the behind the scenes of them getting the jumpers, I can't remember the proper name, the face suckers, jump at people. Oh my gosh, I love just those little like simple tips. Hands. Yeah, and the backwards, just filming everything backwards and then just playing it forward to have it jump into certain spots is just simple, but someone had to think of it first. Someone had to do those things, and it helps tell a story. Love that. Thank you.
It's driving me crazy right now, so I'm just going hat.
No worries. I'm usually rocking a hat on this one too, but I actually have a haircut for once. So
I'm a little shaggy, so I was like, I'll wear a hat. But yeah, no, special effects are like I love practical effects. It's like, to me, that is one of the most interesting, cool art forms out there. And no, I see Emily had mentioned loving makeup and special effects, and that's honestly with everything I do. I'm in the horror space. I try to emphasize practical effects. We did a short film recently called One Night, and we have this big monster character in it. And I reached out to an incredible special prosthetic effects artist, and we had a complete monster creation, and it just is. It means the world to have that on set versus something that's CGI, or even when it's when you're dealing with ghosts, you can get away with not having anything there, right? So when you have that actual practical effects creature on set, it completely changes the whole dynamic of what you're working with. And so I love special effects, practical special effects like that. And I mentioned The Thing. That's pretty much the high standard, I'd say.
Gosh,
I love that scene where he has like the arms. I think they're reviving him.
Oh yeah,
it gets his arms.
Oh
yeah.
It's incredible.
The spider head is just so awesome. I kind of want one just to like an animatronic so I can move around the house and scare people. That'd be
maybe
the
I
best.
can clean too.
Yeah,
you want a spider head Roomba?
Yeah, I would. Oh my god, I would love that.
If my wife would let me, at least my office would be full of like freaks and weird shit. And I mean, I'll move it over. Sorry. I got Sam over here
Nice.
hanging out with me. My room's, we had a leak, so sorry about that. But so Sam's about as much as I get, is because he's kind of cute still.
He's adorable. I love him.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Love that. That's another great movie too, right there. Actually, freaking
Trick or
the
Treat.
the interlacing stories is just I love
definitely
that.
one of my favorites there too. Yeah.
Let's see the way Voldemort turned out. Was Voldemort.
Oh, I think he's talking about Frank. I think you're talking about the practical effects with that.
Okay, yeah, go back.
I mean, a lot of that is practical, I would imagine, or it's just a very random comment.
No, he's been on par the entire time because he's talking about The Ring and 30 Days of Night, which are also too. Just I like the original Ring better than the American version, but neither one was bad. Again, it's one of those things. Yeah.
I rewatched it recently. It holds up, and the remake of the American version. Solid. Gore Verbinski, who directed it and went on to do the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He's a madman, and there's some really good, crazy, scary stuff in there. So,
oh heck yeah!
I see a little shout out in the comments for, is it like Tusk? I'm not sure what is being referred to, but Tusk is, just to get on a little tangent, one of my favorites in the past decade. Because it's so freaking weird, and I love it. And my favorite thing in the world is to tell people about the movie Tusk and just describe what it is and watch people's reaction to me describing what Tusk is. To me, is one of the great joys. It's just such a fun, crazy movie, and talk about practical effects. The walrus and Tusk is literally nightmare fuel. Oh, you haven't? Do you know what it's about?
Yes, I know exactly.
Okay, good. I was gonna say
I saw the Human Centipede, and I was afraid it would be like that. So
it's like a much better version of the Human Centipede.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's funny and horrifying, but not. It knows it's silly. It knows the plot is silly. So it's when I think of Human Centipede and Lobster. Yeah.
But oh my goodness, which one's Lobster again? Is that
I think he's with Colin Farrell, where they turn into animals.
If you don't pair up.
Yeah, you'll get turned into an animal.
I actually loved that movie too. Oh my gosh. I thought it was
Lobster.
Yeah, Lobster, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. You don't really see films like that.
It was way left field. I don't know. I think Tusk was a little more left field, further out there. But both of them just. If you want a weird night, and maybe I don't know. I'm not an edibles kind of guy. I don't do mushrooms or anything like that. But if you want to, that is your affiliation, I would go for that. That would be a great night for you.
Let me write that down.
There was another. I'm so sorry. There's another comment in here. Thoughts on Devil? That's the one where they're trapped in the elevator, right? I believe. Oh my god!
Shyamalan produced it. M. Night Shyamalan produced that one.
I wasn't a huge fan, but it was kind of fun in certain parts.
I didn't see it. I was on a Shyamalan. Anything he was associated with, I kind of avoided like it was the plague for a while. I've kind of started to come back around on him recently, but after a string of disappointments and then Last Airbender, I was like, I need to step away for a while.
That hurt the heart. Like that stabbed the childhood right there. That was not fun.
But then he goes and does Split, and then Split is so good. I'm like, damn it, you roping me back in here. You got me going.
Yeah, that whole trilogy was awesome.
What was the one with the grandparents? What was it called?
The Visit.
The Visit.
My wife loves that one.
Yeah,
that's like one of her favorites. She loves that one.
Well, it was definitely a lot better than The Village or Happening. So
we could not to argue with anything or like go into a debate, but I will stand up for the village. I will be that guy. I'll be the one in here who champions the village as being secretly good.
I saw that when I was a little girl. Well, when I was smaller, and then I saw it as an adult, and I liked it way better as an adult because when I was little, I thought it was going to be like a creature feature movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird things. I would say too, it has probably my favorite film score of all time by James Newton Howard. It is one of the most beautiful scores I've ever heard. Just random side note. But.
Maybe I'll just have to rewatch it because it's been years. It's literally been decades. So maybe it's just time to give it a little bit of a redo.
The ending is still kind of like meh. It's like, come on, dude. But the rest of it is so good, I kind of forgive it. But
have you guys seen Old?
The Beach That Makes You Old?
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
I haven't seen it.
I really want to. I want to very badly. I just have not made the time.
Yeah, it did look pretty dang good, honestly. I was like, oh, it's interesting. And then I actually saw some spoilers and still was down for it. I'm like, no, you know what? Yes, please.
That was what turned me around on Shyamalan, is just the realization that he is going to use his power, his money, his influence, and just kind of make the weirdest whatever movies he wants to make, whether you're on board for that or not. And I kind of respect that as a filmmaker. I'm like, you know what? I hate some of the stuff you've chosen to do, but you at least are making it a consistent effort, so I respect it. So Old's definitely on there.
Oh, absolutely. I think if I could do what he's doing, even if most of the people in the world didn't like it, I would probably keep doing it as long as they're like, I don't know, 5 people watching. I'll buy their tickets for them. That's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. Hands down. Sorry, go ahead, Molly.
At least it's not the same story over and over again. Like he tries something new.
Yeah, that's a great
exactly.
point.
So I see Exorcism of Emily Rose shouted out. I haven't watched that one in a long while. It's been a minute, but I remember that one being pretty freaky.
I like that director.
Is that Scott Derrickson? That's what I'm looking at here.
I think it is
He's
him.
Great.
He did Sinister as well, right?
Yeah,
it is Scott Derrickson. Yep, he did Sinister. He did Doctor Strange. He's done a couple others too, but Exorcism of Emily Rose, terrifying. And a lot of the stuff they shot with that, they had like actual contortionists, doing it, and I believe what's her name, Jennifer Carpenter, I think.
Yeah.
Dexter's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, Dexter's wife. That's how I always have to refer to her. But I remember Derrickson was tweeting that she did some stuff in that movie that was just so scary, just like physically, that the MPAA made them cut it because it was just like too scary to have even in an R-rated cut. So, I love stuff like that, like little tidbits. So now I want to see that version, obviously.
Yeah, please. I will pay the extra. Just give it to me, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. That sounds intense. And she went for the fences on that. She did amazing. I think acting wise was just could not.
Yeah, she was. More. I always thought she was an underrated part of Dexter. Everyone gave Michael C. Hall all the praise, which of course he's great, but I thought she was excellent throughout the series.
Did you see the new season of Dexter?
No.
Oh
no, I dipped out on Dexter after the Trinity Killer. I came late, so I was told to not really worry about anything past Trinity Killer, I think, which is season 4. So I dipped out after that because I read what happens and I was like, oh no, I am good. Did you watch it?
Yeah, we all loved it. We were talking about the season. We were really into it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the most, I thought it was pretty interesting. I still have to see the last 2 episodes now. I didn't get to see the finale, but it was fun. It was fun. And we have a comment here. I think Lorenzo, did you put that in there about the movie Alligator, Kane Hodder played the alligator part. Honestly, I don't think
never
I've
seen
seen
that.
that. Yeah. What year was it out? Because there's quite a few movies called Alligator.
Yeah, I was like, wait, did he play like the alligator, like the alligator in the
Actual
sewer and Alligator?
Because that would be, I mean, that's some good method acting if you can pull off being an alligator. I could not. The 1981. Okay, so I have the right one here.
Was he like operating the puppet or something?
I'm looking through the. I don't see him on. I'm still on IMDb. Honestly, I'm not using anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might have just been in it. Oh, he was the puppet.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that sucks for him.
Yeah.
Well, no, honestly, we did a little shop of horrors in high school, and we got the puppet they used, one of the full size ones. You need a kid in.
Cool.
And I was so jealous. My buddy got to do it because I wanted to be the puppet. I'm not even a huge Little Shop of Horrors fan. Like honestly, it's one of the few musicals I'm not like. It's whatever. It's fine. But the fact that we had the giant working, gosh dang it, what is her name?
Audrey.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Audrey 2. Technically.
Audrey 2. Full size. Yeah. Oh, gosh, it was something to behold. It really was. So there's something to be said, especially talking about practical, about puppets and playing an alligator. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. All right, Kane Hodder, I'm impressed with you now. even though I already was, because you're Jason.
It's true. Man, it's hard. It's hard not to like the guy. And then going off of that though, back to the practicals for a little bit. You mentioned Jaws before, and sometimes even when practicals go wrong, like the fact they couldn't get the shark to work all the time, only made the movie a little bit better. Because they didn't show him off as much, I love that story.
More suspense.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I love
agree.
And then I got one more comment in here that was a question related. I want to make sure to get to this one. Frank. Okay, Frank. Is A Quiet Place considered horror because it was damn good? It was damn good. That was a lot better than I was thinking it was going to be. And I'm glad I went in there with like tapered expectations because it just over the top for me, over the top good. But I have not seen number 2 yet. There's a number 2, right? Like I'm not crazy.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
Have not seen that yet.
I thought it was okay. I think it's kind of a repeat of the first one, just not quite as good. But the first, yeah. But a lot of people did like Quiet Place 2, and I would never tell. I'm one of those guys who are like, if I don't like a movie, I'm really bummed. But like, I'm not gonna like fight anyone on like, here's why you should also not like that movie. If someone likes a movie I don't like, I'm very happy for them, and I will never try to like steal that joy. Some people, are like, I don't like a movie, and therefore everyone has to hate this movie.
How
and if
do you
don't
like it?
Yeah, it's like a personal attack. But no, I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I think back to Shyamalan for so back to the Last Airbender. That one I so upsetting. Like, I haven't met a person who enjoyed it yet. I'm sure there's some out there, but I will be dumbfounded that day.
That one I might actually break my rule and like try and make them
for that one.
Yeah, I might do that.
You should treat yourself better. You deserve
right.
Oh my god.
All right. I know we're like way off because we're supposed to talk about screen, but
great. Yeah, sorry.
The questions are awesome
all the time. We're always off topic, and it's usually me. We go on rants.
Well, I'm all about rants and ramblings, and everyone here in the comments keeps talking about great movies, so it's kind of hard not to bring them up.
Yeah, like right here, Lorenzo, Deep Blue Sea versus Jaws. I'm gonna go Jaws, but I do love Deep Blue Sea.
I was gonna say I grew up watching Deep Blue Sea, so it has like a special place in my heart.
Yeah, for me it's no brainer Jaws, but Deep Blue Sea rules. Like it kicks so much ass.
Like
apparently Deep Blue Sea 3 is really good too. The direct to DVD. I haven't watched it yet. Apparently there's Skip 2, direct to DVD is bad, but direct to DVD's Deep Blue Sea 3 I've heard is really, really interesting.
I'm gonna have to find it because I do love those like direct to DVD horror movies that are like the spin-off, like 4 or 5.
It's the best. Yeah. I love that.
Like Wrong Turn. They're so bad.
I heard the new one's really good. Have you seen the new one?
Yes. But is that like
Did
a
you-
reboot? Or I was confused by it.
I thought it was. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the Wrong Turn movies. I think I saw the first one on TV years ago, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I heard mixed things about the new one.
I've only seen the first one as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys watch it, we should do a review because I was kind of confused by it.
Okay.
All right, I'm down for that.
We can round it.
Okay, make sure. Okay, Lauren thought that Quiet Place was more of a sci-fi. I could see that too as well. X trailer looks good.
Oh yeah. Have you guys seen that?
I think I just saw that. If I'm thinking of the correct one.
Hi West.
like-
I love him. So I
Yeah.
want to see it.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I'm so. It looks like it feels very Texas Chainsaw to me. But
Okay, with
kind of-
the film crew, and they run into
They're
the old
making-
couple.
Yeah, they're making an X film, like a porno, and it's like a kind of gives me Texas Chainsaw, like original Evil Dead vibes. Like something's going on there. It looks really gnarly.
I'm down for that one. Yeah, it definitely seems very interesting. Porno or no porno, I want to go watch that movie. That seems like a good one.
That should be on the tagline.
That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. I would wear that on the shirt. That's fine. Bob says that can't really get into reboots or reimaginings. Some of them I really enjoy, just because I want to see the same characters more. Maybe it's not as good as the first one. Maybe it's a different, but I like more. I can't let go sometimes. I love more of Jason. I love more of Freddy Krueger, even though it wasn't my favorite, the remake. But I still enjoyed it enough where I'd probably watch it again.
I'm of the opinion with like remakes, reboots, reimaginings, all that. Yeah, I'll give it a shot because why not? Yeah. But if I really don't like it, or if I am opposed to it and will never watch it, all this stuff, nothing. It doesn't erase the original. So like Nightmare on Elm Street, that's a great example. I think the remake, I personally did not really like it, but the original Nightmare is still there, so I can always watch it. On the other side, because it's like the worst case scenario is it sucks, and then you just go watch the original again. The best case scenario is you get something like The Thing, which is one of the great American films of all time, which is itself a remake of like an old movie. So it's like there's value to remakes and reimaginings. It also kind of keeps it in the pop culture. It keeps people who maybe didn't grow up with something, gives them a chance to get into it. So I think as fans, we should like the idea of something we love continuing throughout our lifetimes into other people's lifetime. But in the meantime, if we don't like something, the original's still there. Unless they're coming around burning all the copies of the original, I don't really have a problem with
that'd be a great plot movie of itself right there. They're just burning all the original.
If someone was like, we're gonna get rid of all the copies of Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and
they'd kill me.
Yeah, then I'd get mad. Yeah. And Bob, he commented again right now that there's
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daniel Craig, actually, that one I believe I like that one as well. Wait, was there 2 remakes or 1 remake on that? There's
the 70s one is a remake.
There's
and
been a
there's
few remakes of it.
Yeah, right.
There's
Okay,
a black and white one. So
The Blobs.
Okay,
I'd add The Fly to that list. The Fly is a great remake.
Huh.
To me, The
Yes,
Fly is
very
a
much so.
romantic story. Like a really sad romantic story.
It's a tragedy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But wonderful. But kind of like it's a
and disgusting too. Like the effects in that one.
The 70s remake of Body Snatchers. I like that one a lot better than the Daniel Craig one, but I also like Daniel Craig a lot. So it just I don't know. More body snatching, please.
Yes.
Oh wait, there's another one in the 90s. I think it's called The Invasion or
that Lauren just pointed out The Invasion was a remake in
that's
2007.
The one. I believe that's the one I'm thinking of.
There's a bunch though. They've done it a few times.
Yeah. I will say that there is one remake that I will never watch again.
I think I know which one.
Day of the Dead with Nick Cannon and quite a few other characters. it was just so hard to watch because George A. Romero is my favorite director. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And what they did to his movie was just it was like they wanted to just shake a dead man at that point because they just did not have any respect. Oh, that hurt.
That's rough.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, guys. There's a bunch of comments though too. Fahrenheit 451 got me. That was awesome. That's perfect reference to that.
But kind of segueing into the original conversation on the topic of remakes, that is something that Scream commented on really nicely in Scream 4. I don't know how you guys want to like actually jump into Scream, but Scream 4, for anyone listening who's heard us talk about remakes and reboots, Scream 4 and the new one, Scream 5, have done an excellent job of commenting, as all Scream movies do, on the state of affairs with horror. In Scream 4's case, the endless remakes that were happening at the time, and Scream 5 with reboot quels, legacy quels, the kind of a remake, kind of a sequel. So I really enjoyed seeing that progression.
Oh yeah, and I think gosh dang it, excuse me. Somebody else has to talk. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
I was watching Scream 5. I kept thinking it was Scream 4 because like Scream 4 was like the least memorable to me. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So I kept thinking it was Scream 4.
Are we? Yeah. So are we talking spoilers or anything, just so that people?
I want to talk spoilers of Scream 5.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anyone is listening to this at any point, fair warning, we'll probably get into spoilers for Scream 5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have not seen Scream 5, you have been warned.
Yeah, we've been talking for half an hour. You have definitely had some time to prepare yourself.
Yeah, you got to hear some other cool stuff too. So, but so like, what's your guys' relationship with Scream?
Oh,
the first one I saw was Scream 3.
Okay.
So it has a special place in my heart. Scream 3 has a special place.
Right on.
I didn't know that. I'm actually a really big David Arquette fan. I got to meet him in Texas, and that dude is he's something else.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love it. Real quick, little side tangent. Have you watched You Cannot Kill David Arquette, the documentary?
Not yet. I gotta watch that though.
It's fantastic. It's about his like wrestling career. It's incredible. It's truly an incredible documentary.
That dude was a champion, legit.
Yeah. No, like seriously, he's yeah. But anyway, getting back to Scream. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off the tangent there. But
no worries. That's great.
Fine.
Yeah.
So you're a big Arquette fan. So was one the first one you saw, or?
Yes, one I saw, and then I saw it again and again, and I rewatched it again and again, and I've seen the other ones maybe once. Honestly,
okay.
I don't know what happened. I just kind of like I love Scream. I love that original idea. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, there's just so many movies out there that I stopped rewatching stuff as often as I could, or as often as I wanted to.
Right.
But then there are a few of them, like the original Scream, The Exorcist, and I think Dawn of the Dead was the mall one. For some reason, like those three and a couple others, I've watched, I think, too many times. And then all of a sudden, it leads me away from the rest of those series because they have some awesome stuff in the series.
Right.
So I gotta rewatch everything.
Yeah. For anyone watching and for yourself too, Scream 1 through 3 are on Peacock right now. If you want to stream them, Scream 4 is on Showtime.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. So again, my broken, horrible brain that just retains all this insane knowledge that like is pretty much useless except for like podcast appearances.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah, just like random little fun facts. But yeah, I mean, Scream to me is one of the best slashers of all time, the best horror films of all time. It's one of my favorites. That whole franchise, I think, I just adore it. For me, and it's also like very consistent in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of horror franchises, they have really big highs and very low lows. Like your Nightmare on Elm Street that are, I love that whole series. Don't get me wrong, but there are definitely some less than chapters. Friday the 13th has a lot of really like rough chapters. I think Texas Chainsaw really only has one good movie, and it's the original. Personally,
I still watch all the Texas Chainsaw, like the 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll still watch them.
Oh yeah, yeah. But for me, the most like consistent horror franchises are Scream, Evil Dead, and Chucky. I think those are like the three that have like managed to, each entry is like really solid. Like even the worst entry of those franchises is still going to be better than a lot of other stuff.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
And so I'm a massive fan of the franchise. I think it was like my first exposure to like meta like screen meta like text to a film, like commenting on things that the horror tropes in the movies. It was like my first interaction with like, oh, you can do that. Like that's something you can
the virgin like always has to survive, and then she's not a virgin, so she's free game to be killed.
Yeah, and you got Randy Meeks, and the throughout the franchise, he's the guy who he's one of us, right? He like knows all these movies. He's like talking about these movies in his spare time. He just happens to find himself in a horror film. And I think that's so much fun. And people forget how scary, especially the first Scream is. The first Scream, the Drew Barrymore opening scene, is legitimately upsetting and very, very unnerving. But it still manages, the whole movie and the whole series still manages to blend that horror with that fun lightheartedness that comes with the meta comedy, and also like some sincerity that kind of like bleeds through the whole thing. So I think that's definitely one of my favorites.
And to kill a big star like Drew Barrymore at the beginning,
incredible!
That was pretty cool.
It's so incredible. I love it. Like everyone thinks, oh, this is the lead, and it's like, nope, she's getting gutted, like on screen.
Very Hitchcock right there, which is loved it.
And when I was little and I saw the movies, it blew my mind that there was 2 killers. Like I was like, what? There can be more than one? I was like,
and
that blew my mind.
And it's not like a Michael Myers or Jason situation where it's always the same guy. It's Ghostface Ghostface is always the character, but there's someone different. And to this question here, who do you think the best actor is that's played Ghostface? That's kind of the fun, is there has been so many different Ghostface killers. And so it's like finding your favorite, really there's a lot of great options out there. Because do you guys have a favorite Ghostface killer?
I have 2.
Okay.
Which is Scream 3, where it's the brother, the half brother, and then the first one, the boyfriend.
Director. Yeah. With Stu and Billy.
Yeah. Number 1 for sure, but number 3 is, I think, pretty solid.
I think it's kind of crazy. Like I'm tempted to do Billy and Stu from the first one, but their motivation is kind of like, it works. It's fine. It's a little silly, but I like it. I really think the best Ghostface is Emma Roberts in Scream 4.
Okay.
I love Scream 4. I think it's really good. And I think Emma Roberts as Ghostface is the best because her motive is the most like sensible. She is Sydney's cousin, and she basically wants all the fame and celebrity that Sydney has from surviving these movies.
Yeah.
So she basically wants to become famous. She at one point she goes, "I don't need what's the line? It's like, I don't need like friends, I need fans." And I think that's such a great like commentary. It was so ahead of its time. I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm pretty sure that's how she got famous in the first place. Not just, family. It was I think she just murdered people to the top. That's how she got in the movies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. She's related to Julia Roberts. Was always Julia Roberts in her shadow, so she just started killing people to get famous. It makes sense. But I love how psychotic she plays it. She's really completely unhinged, but also it feels very timely. Like someone is killing people to basically become famous because they want to become famous, and I think that was kind of ahead of its time.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. We all have. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
so it's like there's something very relatable and kind of really entertaining to watching Emma Roberts beat the shit out of herself to pretend like she got attacked by Ghostface, and it's just a really great great sequence. But I do like the director from 3 as well, Marlene. I think it's a little, the whole thing is very silly, like, oh, I'm your secret half brother and I've been filming the whole thing, but it is fun. And the new one, we said there would be spoilers, Jack Quaid and the other actress, I forget her name, I'm spacing.
When you guys were watching it, did you figure out who the killer was? Because like I figured out one of them, which was the girl. I figured she was the killer.
Yeah, I kept going back and forth with Jack Quaid, the boyfriend, because it was like they clearly were setting him up to be the killer. But in my head, I was like, oh, they're making it so obvious that's a red herring in itself. So it can't be him because it's too obvious. And then it was. And so I was still surprised.
When he stabs her. Like
Yeah. And the motivation was kind of fun too. Like they're basically just crazy fanboys who don't like the movie, so they're gonna make their own. And I thought that was really fun commentary.
It definitely worked. It kept the entire like idea you're talking about very meta and really making fun of like people who take it to that, maybe not to murderers, but will get really attached to a series they love and will be offended that they change things in the new movie. Like,
it's like an internet troll. Yeah, they're basically like internet trolls, and I think that's what kind of made it so entertaining to watch for sure.
Let's see.
I was surprised by the kills. I thought they were way more gory than the other ones, like the other movies, which I liked.
Yeah, this one was brutal. One was brutal. The one in particular was Deputy Hicks, her son, when he gets like the knife like in the side of his throat, and so there's like still the flap of skin like over it, and it's so gnarly. That was great.
Oh, solid.
Was that your favorite kill of the whole of Scream 5?
That was probably the most memorable kill. That, or when she, when the main actress kills Jack Quaid after he reveals himself as Ghostface, and she just starts like going to town on him, stabbing him, and he's like screaming and like crying the whole time. That was really, I liked that kill because there was something very cathartic about it, because he's such like a shitty character. Like he's so like, I hate that kind of person. So it was kind of nice to see like the like crazy killing and seeing him kind of like whine for mercy after being so sinister. I thought was great. I thought those two were probably my favorites. I wish I liked the girl's death a little bit more, where she gets lit on fire by the stove. Yeah, I thought that one was okay. That was fun. That actress likes to get burned alive, I guess, because she was one of the Manson girls in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and she gets lit up with a flamethrower in that.
Oh shit!
No, she looks familiar. I was like, where have I seen her before?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, all right. But I think we had a question here. Favorite kill of all the Scream movies? I would say the first with the door, the garage door.
That's a great
always
kill.
Sticks in my head all the time. And they made fun of it really well in Scary Movie. I thought that was hilarious, and just it's just an iconic scene, I guess, for myself.
And I think that was the one I saw Ghostface was in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So yours is that your favorite kill in the franchise is the garage door scene. Marlene, what's yours? All the movies.
Oh, I wanted that one because she gets stuck and it's like so scary.
It's great.
The one I'm thinking about is Scream 3, where he's calling his girlfriend and she's in the shower.
Oh yeah.
She comes out and now she's like she was attacked and he gets there on time, but
She thinks it's him.
She thinks it's him, so she's trying to figure out, and she's like, "Get away from me!" He's like, "No, I'm trying to protect you." And
that was all.
Real quick, I'll answer in a second, but real quick, Emily Moore, I see you commented the cast will be at TFW in April. What is TFW?
Yeah, that is this right here. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger for.
Texas Frightmare.
Texas Frightmare
Weekend. Yeah,
such
right on.
A fun time.
Cool. That's good to know.
Definitely worth going to. I go every year. It's like right before my birthday or during my birthday, so it's perfect timing.
Oh shit! Yeah,
but
that would be awesome. That would be rad. I almost went a couple years ago, but it was right around right after COVID had stopped or launched, and it was in 2020, and so they had canceled it or they were doing something, so it didn't work out. It was a bummer, but
yeah.
But that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. But my favorite kill is it's the Drew Barrymore, the opening scene in the first one. I don't think you can. It's really scary. It's really fun. It's really clever. I don't think Roger Jackson, who voices Ghostface, I don't think he gets enough credit. There's something so entertaining about listening to him on the phone when he's killing. He's so entertaining and sinister, but kind of in an over the top way, which is really fun.
And you're right though, it's very scary. Now you go look back, it's not going to scare you as much probably, and the newer generation might not think it's as scary. But the same way, the first time I watched When a Stranger Calls, have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
The first time you hear that voice, have you checked the children? It's scary. People on phones are scary. People on phones are scary.
No more phones in horror movies.
Terrible. Which in Scream 5 they call Samantha and he's like, "Hello, Samantha," and I was like, "Wait, it's Sydney." No, it's not Samantha. It's Sydney because I'm so used to him calling Sydney.
Yeah, right. It's always like, "Hello, Sydney."
Yeah, I know Samantha. I was like, "Wait, what?"
I can't get used to this.
Yeah.
Fun fact: if anyone listening has a TikTok, you can do the text reader. So the robot voice will read your text, and Ghostface is an option for the voice. So you can write out stuff and have Ghostface talk. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Because he's also Ghostface is the only. Or one of the only killers that actually talks, like him and Freddy and Chucky. But Leatherface, Michael, Jason, they're silent. They don't ever say anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So there's something kind of fun about, and of course, Ghostface, Chucky, and Freddy all have in common. They're very scary, but they're also very sarcastic, smartasses, funny, and there's something kind of nice about blending that kind of dark humor that Chucky, Freddy, and Ghostface have, in opposed to just silent, terrifying murderers. And I kind of I like having that balance, because sometimes silence is scarier, but sometimes when they're talking too and taunting you, it's kind of that's a little freaky.
Oh heck, it's the murderer you want to have a beer with, It's they have personality. And I think you mentioned Chucky having a very solid franchise arc the entire time. I think they're all really good as well. I agree with that. I think that kind of comes from his personality, because it's funny in some points. I mean, I still got scared as a kid from watching Child's Play. Definitely scared me. But as you grow up, they're just fun, and it's all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I gotta watch this with my little brother, or just bring someone in who's never seen it before. Equivalent to when you find out someone hasn't watched Harry Potter and you want them to watch every single one with you.
Right.
I would do that with Child's Play.
Oh yeah. It's a great time. I had not watched as of last year, I had not watched I had not seen 3 or Seed of Chucky before. I had only seen the original 2 and parts of Bride of Chucky, and I had not seen the direct-to-DVD ones. So I went and binged the whole franchise, and I just was like, "Oh man, this rules! I love this so much." And the show kicked so much ass too. It was one of my
So
favorites of
fun.
the year. Yeah,
Yes.
and having the same. That's
great.
What
He's
was
in
that?
the military.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ends with him at like a carnival.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That it was a little bit funnier. I mean, the later Freddy movies ended up being a little bit more humorous, so they and then it makes sense that Elm Street was originally going to be a little bit more darkly comedic, and Wes himself ended up taking it to a more comedic place with New Nightmare, which was
Yeah.
kind of like his warm up for Scream, and so
Truly.
it seems like when the original directors and creators stay with it, that's when there's that consistency. So like Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi have stuck with the Evil Dead this whole time, and they've that's been consistent. Don Mancini, who did Chucky, he has literally written every Chucky movie, directed a bunch of them, did the show. And then with Scream, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, they worked on all the Scream movies up until this new one. And the new guys who took over obviously had such a reverence for it that they they knocked it out of the park. But
Totally agree. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's kind of the key factor, is not letting it become like a director for hire like Halloween or Friday the 13th. Just someone who comes in is like, all right, fine, I'll make this, I guess. I'll make a paycheck.
And that's what I was afraid of with Scream 5, because Wes is dead. Like, obviously, he can't continue on. And I was like, what if this is just like a paycheck for that director?
Right.
But I was
It's
surprised.
always a
I was
gamble.
like, I really liked it, and I like that they had like an homage, and then they had like Tatum's Ashbox.
Oh yeah, there's so many great little Easter eggs too.
Yeah,
like I love
horror in general.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then also as like someone who had just rewatched all the Scream movies leading up to this one, there were so many little tidbits to catch, like Randy Meeks, Jamie Kennedy from the first 3 movies.
Yeah,
his sister. His sister, which is in Scream 3, is in Scream 5, who was in Princess Diaries. She's great, and it was great to see them. I guess I did not see this originally, but I was reading that for fans of Scream 4 and Hayden Panettiere, there is a YouTube thumbnail at one point interviewing her, listing her as a survivor of Woodsboro, indicating that Hayden Panettiere survived Scream 4. Her character Kirby survived Scream 4, which is great news because, I guess it's at one point when they're watching like the YouTube.
Yeah,
there's like a little thumbnail on the side. So I'm like, right on. I loved
I
Kirby.
liked her character, so I'm glad she lived.
Yeah. Stuff like that I thought was so great. And then even little things like when Ghostface comes to the drunk guy at the side of the bar and like stabs him in the neck, the song playing, the Red Right Hand song that was played in pretty much all the Scream movies right after a big kill. That made me smile quite a bit. And then even like having the credits have the old school You Wouldn't Steal a DVD like font. Like I thought that like little touches like that just made me very happy.
Oh heck yeah, all rounded. Those little details make it just so much better. It just feels like they cared more, and 100% did 100%. But before,
I just wanted to know about real quick, the big character death. Somebody dies. How did you guys feel about that person dying?
Speaking of,
didn't like it. Didn't like that shit.
Yeah,
so sad. I was sad, but it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it kind of felt like it needed to happen.
Yeah, so we're obviously referring to, spoiler alert again, Dewey bites the dust in this one. I was very conflicted. Yeah, same. I was very sad. I was like, oh no, why? But at first I was like, oh man, I don't want this. Like this sucks. And I'm just turning off my camera for a second to see if it'll reset.
No worries.
All blurry again. Hold on, let me just get real close. I'm gonna get real close here, and then that'll fix it. Yeah, but I thought it was very sad. Obviously, Dewey has been one of the best parts of this franchise. I love David Arquette, as we talked about. So it's really sad, but in hindsight, I think it was the right call because one, you kind of needed a legacy cast member to die to like give it some stakes. And Dewey, I thought it fit the character because literally for 25 years now, we've seen him as just as a deputy, and the first one as kind of like a little boy almost to become. He became the police chief. He retired, and he died saving new cast of characters and new teenagers from Ghostface, and I think that gave his death meaning and purpose, and it felt a fitting end for him to die, basically sacrifice himself to save other people, which is very fitting with Dewey. And then also, as a side note, just a little piece of trivia, was Dewey was supposed to die in Scream 1. So it's always been in the cards that he was going to die.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed in the back in Scream 1, but then people liked him so much that they added a scene where he's getting carried off. And then in Scream 2 and 3, he has a limp from being stabbed in the back. But so it's not like Dewey was ever supposed to really live past Scream 1. So to me, it was like it gave us more time with him than we were supposed to get. And it was a fittingly noble end for Dewey.
I agree with that. It was a lot better than say, and I still like this one, the Halloween one that just came out, Halloween Kills. Not the best one ever, but I liked all the murder. I was like, oh, that's fun at least.
Right.
But then, like you said, they kind of just threw some characters to die just to kill them at the end, especially that end was just, yeah.
I didn't care for Halloween Kills.
It's the ending threw me off, but
yeah.
At least they weren't afraid to kill certain characters, but this one was done better. Definitely done better.
Yeah, because the one you're referring to in Halloween Kills, it's just like, what? Why are you throwing this in at the very end and like giving it no like
who
value?
dies? I'm curious now. I haven't seen
it.
It's Judy Greer.
A bunch of people die.
Yeah, and pretty much everyone. Yeah. Everyone except Laurie.
He pretty much does like the Undertaker sit up in a wrestling match and just starts killing everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, very much Undertaker. But yeah, he kills Laurie's daughter. At the very end, that's like the last shot is him like stabbing her a bunch of times, and it's like, okay, why are you doing this at the very end? But whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it. But I enjoyed it, and then I wish they would have done just a little bit.
Yeah, there was stuff I liked still. So,
but that takes us over the hour, guys. And I do want to touch a little bit of something. Jacob, is there any work or anything you want me to make sure people can see? And if so, where can they find it?
Yeah, so you can find my personal YouTube channel where I post some of my stuff. And my Instagram, my personal Instagram is same as the YouTube channel. It's Jacob Ewing Presents. So that's JACOBEWING Presents. And you can find me on Instagram and YouTube there. I also have a production company that I am working with some great business partners with called Sneaky Owl Media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to like us and follow us on the socials. That's Sneaky Owl Media. That's where we're doing some really awesome new short films, commercial work in the Tucson area that I'm really excited to share. And we just wrapped a really fun short film that I'm excited to share with everyone at Sneaky Owl. And then we're gearing up to get to work on my next horror short that I'm really excited about. So Jacob Ewing Presents and Sneaky Owl. Hit me up there.
Awesome. Cannot wait to see what's coming up next. Then, yeah, I'm gonna go
Thank you.
get some binge watching on.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Gosh, dang it, excuse me. Y'all have a great night. I know we touched a bunch of stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. That's all I can say. 'Cause I enjoyed myself, so I don't even care right now. I had fun. All right. Any last words, guys?
No, thanks for having me.
Jacob.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. I could talk horror for days. And so it was nice to get to talk about a bunch of franchises and then talk about Scream. So I think we kind of covered it all. So thanks again for having me. Yeah.
That's how we bonded.
I mean, literally, we were on a horror film set that I was doing, and Marlene was there, and I'm sorry, it was before that, but we met on a different short, but that was why I brought you on to work on the next one that I did, because we just spent so much time talking horror, and it's always nice to like meet another fan who's obsessed with this stuff. So
yeah,
oh, heck yeah. That's awesome. We got to get you back for March. We do like a March Madness kind of thing. I think we're doing movie killers this time.
Sure.
So I'd love to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, please. I'm always down to talk to whoever will listen. So
awesome. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, everyone.